unfortunately, the judges were tarnished and uncharitable and unwarranted remarks were passed, which was totally out of context and it was not in the right spirit, not healthy. Because ultimately, we all know every case, they have questions, they pose questions, there's a healthy dialogue. Sometimes things are said in a light humor and things like that. So a lawyer definitely knows not to take it seriously and things like that. But what has happened, these outbursts on social media is totally unwarranted.
The SC bench that heard Nupur Sharma's plea of clubbing all FIRs filed against her across the country had some harsh words to say about her conduct. Not only did the judges not entertain her plea, they said she had a loose tongue and added that she was single-handedly responsible for what is happening in the country. The bench said Sharma should have apologized to the nation. On being told that Nupur Sharma is facing threat to her life, the judges said that she herself has become a security threat. The bench then refused to provide any relief to her. After the hearing, Justices Suryakant and J.B. Pardiwala faced severe criticism on social media. The observations seem to have divided the legal community in India as well. A group of 15 former High Court judges, along with 77 former bureaucrats and 25 army veterans, wrote a scathing letter to the CJI. The letter stated that the observations, simultaneously relayed by all channels in high decibel, are not in sync with judicial ethos, and by no stretch these observations, which are not part of the judicial order, can be sanctified on the plank of judicial propriety and fairness. The letter also said that forcing a petitioner by such damning observations, pronouncing her guilty without trial, and denial of access to justice on the issue raised in the petition can never be a facet of a democratic society. Supreme Court Senior Advocate Mahalakshmi Pavni, however, says that the criticism of the judges is uncalled for.
It's very unfortunate that it has received a lot of criticism. In fact, these are observations, they are not part of the judgments. And it's because a political party person, spokesperson, former spokesperson was involved. So it was blown out of proportions and out of context. To be very honest with you, see, a judge cannot be criticized, but his judgment can definitely be criticized because that is a hallmark of a democracy. So there are letters where the judges, the Honorable CJI responds to, and some he doesn't need to respond. There is no hard and fast rule which says that every letter sent by a senior advocate or an important citizen or from somebody from the bureaucracy needs to be answered. No. See, every court will go into the legal principles of what is there before it, the petition, the grounds, the circle, questions of law, everything. So it is not going to be, taken with a pinch of salt or general remarks. No, every judge will look at the case before it, So these observations, actually, they are just observations, and every the judges also can speak their mind.
We do not know whether there will be any relief for Nupur Sharma over the oral remarks of the SC bench. However, in the past, there have been cases in which the judges have withdrawn their remarks or the remarks have been expunged by a higher court. In 2015, Justice Pardiwala, who was then a judge of the Gujarat High Court, observed that reservation and corruption are two things that haven't allowed the country to progress. After a massive outcry, including a move by 58 Rajya Sabha MPs to approach then Vice President Hamid Ansari for beginning impeachment proceedings, Justice Pardiwala withdrew his remarks that were part of the judgment, saying these remarks were not relevant or necessary. Similarly, in August 2019, Madras High Court Judge S. Vaidyanathan had made some sweeping remarks against Christian educational institutions, calling them unsafe for children. He also said certain laws made it easy for women to misuse laws to teach a lesson to male members. After about 10 days, Justice Vaidyanathan withdrew his remarks. Again in July 2021, Bombay High Court Judge S.S. Shinde withdrew his comments praising Jesuit priest Stan Swamy, who was an accused in a case filed by the NIA. He had passed away in judicial custody. In April this year, a division bench of Madras High Court expunged caustic remarks made by a single judge that said that 90% of the police are corrupt. The division bench agreed with the submission made by the public prosecutor that this remark would affect the morale and spirit of the policemen. All the above cases pertain to observations that were part of the order. However, there is at least one precedent of the Election Commission approaching the Supreme Court over oral observations made against its officers. In April last year, Madras High Court Chief Justice Sanjeev Banerjee lambasted the Election Commission of India for allowing political rallies during second COVID wave, saying, "Your officers should be booked on murder charges probably." Aggrieved by this, the EC moved the Supreme Court seeking that the remarks be expunged. The SC refused the plea. However, it added that judges should refrain from making off-the-cuff remarks. A Times online report.